Let's now look at the consumer, and this may run in contrast to a lot of what your discussions have been. Consumers are really challenged to change their behavior. If you really look at all the initiatives over all the years, all the good initiatives, getting the consumer to move is just nasty. I mean, it's just nasty. All right? I mean, think about it. Diets. Diets, good or bad. I'm not even judging certain diets, whether South Beach diet is good or bad, Atkins is good or bad. It doesn't matter what diet is good. They fail. They fail. There's just a limited number of consumers that ultimately stick with the diet. So you see, after 30 to 60 days, more than 50% bail out on a hardcore diet program. Maybe 4 or 5% ultimately are staying on diets. I mean, think about it. What happens? I mean, every diet plan has a regimen. All right, turn to the back of the appendix. All right, it's the upside-down potato diet for males. Okay, so now I got this upside-down diet. 7:10 a.m., not in the morning. 7:10 a.m., I have to go get a potato and cut it up in a cube, steam it for 3 minutes, and then chop it up with a specific size fork. Okay, then I come back at noon and I have kiwi and whatever else is on. 2 o'clock, I'm glazed over, game over. All right, so for someone who is disciplined, who's a great Marine or a Navy SEAL or somebody, you know these people who are very disciplined, their desks are perfectly clean. You're laughing, you understand. You might be misrepresented in this audience. You might be overrepresented. Unless you have a person like that, to start asking somebody who, let's say, is more adaptable, open-ended, going with the flow, and you show this kind of a regimented approach, what happens? It falls off the cliff. All right, and then you go down the list. Everybody knows that we're not moving enough. All right, we don't have to belabor that. People are stressed. People are stressed, time stressed, physically stressed, mentally stressed. I mean, that's really a factor here. I think time is a biggie. We are a convenience culture. We're a convenience culture. And I think they're nutritionally confused, as we talked about on the food pyramid, or the way they read serving sizes, or the way they read or don't understand packages. And when it's all done, if you do something, I'm sure many of you are familiar with like a Myers-Briggs type of personality behavioral type. If you go look at the Myers-Briggs across the population, you will see that it's clearly in a minority of the group that would stick to a program. So no matter what you recommend, people now have to change the way they are naturally wired to think and act. So by expecting them to change is a misconception. As a marketer, if I spend $150 million behind Coca-Cola, I can probably get them to change their mind. In your case, you don't have that luxury. So I think it's very challenging to expect the consumer to change. So I don't look at the consumer as someone who could drive the train to solve the problem. I do believe that you could raise the water level on awareness, educate them, show them what's right, and I really think that's a critical role that you play. I just don't look at them as driving the freight train. So the results of all this, America keeps getting fatter. Okay? In 1990, no state recorded an obesity level over 20%. Now there's only one, Colorado, that has a rate under 20%. And then the southern tier, as you're all well aware, is really the toughest one. I mean, with the exception of Florida and Virginia, the rates are over 25%, and the top 3 states are southern states. So clearly it resides here. Now, there are some new initiatives out, but the jury's still out. So what are the implications?